When you hold someone's well-being above your own, that's devotion. Devotion does not mean that I have to bow down to you or touch your feet or sing your praises. In every way, I live for you, that's devotion. I took this very birth to make this happen for you, and that's devotion. I don't want to look at anybody because if I look at people, they burst into tears. I am not defined by the activities that I perform. My activity is just relevance to the situations in which I exist. If you allow situations to limit you, oh, they will crush you. They're all waiting to crush you.
It's a beautiful winter afternoon in Delhi, and we have with us our next podcast guest. Little introduction there, because after all, he is the Sadhguru.
If you made the mistake of sitting with me for one moment, this is your last life. There'll be no more, for sure. Namaskaram.
Namaskar, Sadhguru. You need little introduction. You are, after all, the Sadhguru. But it's an honor, it's a privilege that we have you as our guest this afternoon. Thank you for hosting us in Delhi. But the question I want to ask you, Sadhguru, and it's not a question, but let's start with the fact that our podcast, the basic premise is our guests introduce themselves to our viewers and our listeners. So, like I said, you need little introduction. You are the Sadhguru, but if Jaggi Vasudev, Sadhguru, had to introduce himself to his viewers and listeners, what would you say?
Oh. I have nothing much to say about myself. It's just different people experience you in so many different ways. And because I live a very undefined life, at least within myself I am not defined in any way. So everybody is at full freedom to make their own definitions of who I am. If introduction is to be understood as a definition, I don't have any, because I could be totally different tomorrow morning, I'm like that. Right now there is certain amount of work to do, so I like this. People who have known me, every few years, when one aspect of work is over, I completely change my personality, totally. People who have known me before 2001, they can't believe this is me, because they thought that is a different Sadhguru altogether. I told them, I'm going to change, please hold on little tight, because our role in the world is going to change, so I'll change my persona completely. But still, some people fell off because they couldn't believe that this man has completely changed like this. I told them well beforehand, 2 years ahead, and repeated it many times. So how do I introduce myself? Well, as far as I'm concerned, within myself, I'm just a full-fledged life in all aspects. It's just that because we have to do certain things, depending on the times in which we exist, accordingly we act. For me, my actions are not at all about how or who I am. My actions are just relevant to the situations in which I exist. Like for example, I was at the economic forum and one professor from Harvard University comes, "Oh, you are that fantastic tree planter." I said, "I'm not a tree planter." Then he said, "No, no, you planted millions of trees." That I did because people have ripped it off. Otherwise I wouldn't be tree planting, that's not my thing. Then he asked, what do you do? I said, well, I make people flower. Or, in United States it used to be, now nobody asks me, at least when I went initially. First thing they will ask is, what do you do for a living? I say, I breathe. What do you do? I'm saying people are giving definitions looking at actions. So if I'm transmitting yoga, people say he's a yogi. If I'm speaking, they say he's a spiritual teacher. If I hit a ball, they say he's a golfer. If I ride a motorcycle, they say he's a motorcyclist. If I paint something, they say he's a painter. I am not defined by the activities that I perform. My activity is just relevance to the situations in which I exist.
Spiritual guru, would you call yourself?
I don't call myself that, people do.
So you're many Sadhgurus in one. That's what you're saying.
No, it's just one.
Just one. Various facets to that one.
I'm saying actions are not about oneself, actions are about the situations which we are. If our actions define us, that means we have not found anything substantive within ourselves. That's why we let actions determine or define who we are. So actions are not about me at all, actions are about where I exist.
Before we begin, Sadhguru, I want to ask you about your health. How are you feeling? Are you good?
I'm very good.
Fit and fine?
Very good, fit and fine. I just rode to Tibet and came back,
Exactly. So that's what I asked, for somebody to do it after 2 brain bleeds. Doctors would recommend A, that you shouldn't have, B, saying don't emulate him. He might have, nobody else should after 2 brain bleeds.
Before going to Tibet, I was supposed to… the doctor who treated me here, who was fantastic to me, and he had told me, 2 years you should not ride. But in 3 months I was riding. He said, at least 6 months you should not drive. After surgery, when I landed in Coimbatore, I got off the airport and I drove to the ashram, which is 1 hour. Why I'm saying these things is, if you allow situations to limit you, oh, they will crush you. If you allow situations that happen to you in your life, whether it's health or life situations or even psychological events that happen, if you allow them to limit you, well, they will crush you, they're all waiting to crush you.
But Sadhguru, you didn't just take a motorcycle and ride, you didn't just drive. You took a motorcycle to Kailash Mansarovar with an altitude which would be medically not recommended for anyone
So
after,
I did not
especially
tell
coming off 2 brain bleeds.
I did not tell my doctor, and after I went there, I had a chat with him on the Zoom. Then I said, I didn't want to tell you beforehand because anyway you will say no. So he said, even if I say no, you would have anyway gone. Just make sure you just ride on the paved roads, don't go off-road. You shouldn't have a fall.
Did you?
Next day, I went on a treacherous road and I had a fall. I thought, I just promised him I will not fall. And this was a horrible treacherous road in the mountains and motorcycle was very heavy and it just wouldn't make it in that kind of thing. And I went down. Well, I didn't hit my head, so I'm back here and fine.
That medically, that's not a very good example that you're setting for people who look up to you, who follow you. Would you recommend somebody who came off a similar, medical experience such as you to do what you did posted?
It depends how agile and how competent they are. I won't say the same things to everybody, but there are some people who can do it, it's all right.
So you'd be okay if they do it?
See, the thing is there a risk? There is a risk. But if you don't take any risks, what the hell will you do in your life, I'm asking? Like this, I was just talking about my friend, a friend who used to ride with me way back in 70s and 80s. We crisscrossed India at that time. So he went to United States, he started some company, he became a CEO of something, mid-level company and successful and everything. His wife told him, "You will never sit on a motorcycle, it's too dangerous, you cannot ride." So he never rode. Then another friend, who is also a motorcyclist, but not ridden for many years, fell in the bathroom and died. He said, "Oh my God, this guy, can you believe it, this guy fell down in the bathroom and died? I don't want to die like that." He bought himself a motorcycle and rode to Mongolia. He told his
Fair
wife,
enough.
"Do whatever you want, I'm going, because I don't want to die in the bathroom. Anyway, you could fall."
Is it so somewhere, on a more spiritual level, so you think it's all predestined, it's written, it would be what it would be? Is that it, or
No.
you're a master of your own destiny?
If you don't handle the motorcycle properly, it'll be done today. This is the thing about two wheels. If you make a mistake, that'll be your last mistake, depending on how fast you're riding.
I'm gonna just…
That's what is attraction.
No, no, fair point. But so is there free will? Or it's all predestined?
See,
It's a
I know
conversation many of us have.
this is a cliched question from the West. What I'm saying is, this moment, if I offer you something to drink, whether you drink it or not, is it your choice or no?
Of course it is.
Then, it's as simple as that.
So it is free will. You don't believe a larger plan for everyone, and life will follow patterns, make you do things which are already decided for you. Do you believe that?
Who is making that larger plan?
No, I don't know. Do you believe in God?
See, what belief means is, if there is a chasm to cross here, belief means you build a bridge in your mind. And then you think you can go across because it'll give you confidence without clarity. If you try to cross on that bridge, you know where you will go. But it gives you confidence. Confidence without clarity is the greatest disaster among human beings. If you have clarity, you will go to the extent you can go. If you don't have clarity, you will hesitate and you will be safe at least. But if you have confidence without clarity, you're a disaster. Too many people are these disasters and they think somebody up there is making a plan for them. The cosmos and the nature of it is such, neither the men of science know where it begins and where it ends. Nor do the so-called men of God know where does it begin, where does it end. Or it's seemingly limitless. So in this seemingly limitless cosmos, who you and me are, we're super microscopic creatures. It's just the magnanimity of creation that is given us an individual experience, otherwise we are just like an atom in this cosmos. But now human beings are so so full of themselves. I had little bad vocabulary for that, but I'm…
No, but that's not bad vocabulary, that's…
they're so full of themselves that they think whatever is the source of creation, which somebody may call it God, somebody may call it something else, that is sitting and making a personal plan for you. This is the worst level of egoistic nature. Too many people think so, unfortunately, because they think God is sitting and making a plan for them. In this garden, even though I'm not living here, but those who are living here and managing the garden, do they know how many ants are here and what is their health status today? So in this cosmos, you're not even an ant, I'm saying. You're a microscopic creature. And for you, somebody is making a plan. Maybe they don't even know you exist, damn it.
Are you a man… because you talk about a man of God or man of science. Which of the two are you? Are you somewhere in the middle?
I'm just a man.
You're just a man.
Because both of them are prejudiced.
God is prejudiced.
No. I mean to say men of science,
both
men
are
of God,
prejudiced.
both of
Fair
them are
point.
prejudiced. So I'm just a man.
You're just a man.
Yes.
Before we move ahead, we're going to give a disclaimer right there that do take your doctor's advice before you do decide to take a motorcycle to the Kailash Mansarovar.
No?
No?
Oh, you mean to say,
To the
before
people
you
who
go
are
to Kailash
watching,
Mansarovar,
there
not
might be
before you
somebody…
ride a motorcycle.
No, no, we hear you, but just so that, people adhere to your doctors. If they're telling you don't go, don't go.
See, it's like you ask your grandmother, shall I go and climb a mountain? You think she's going to say yes? No.
Mine used to.
Mine used to too, but that's a rare grandmother.
True.
Because you didn't ask anything too wild, maybe. I asked for the wildest possible things. And now it is like in Telugu there is a saying that you want to do chicken curry, but you go and consult the chicken, shall we make the masala today?
Ah. A fair point. There's a bit of fear.
So doctor will say, no, this is not good for you. So what is not good for you is, if you go there, well, ill health may happen, possible. Ill health is one thing, but life never happened to you. What about that?
I hear you on that. I do. I hear you on living your life. That I hear you on. Right at the onset, or no, it's not the onset. We've been speaking now for the last 15 minutes. Full disclosure: I'm somebody. I don't know if I was the correct candidate in the beginning to do this podcast with you, because when it comes to God, I am, or belief, I'm agnostic. When it comes to spiritual gurus, I'm a skeptic. So I also want to just put it down that if there are any questions, blame it on journalistic inquisitions. Your followers might feel a little affronted, but I'm just, that's my approach here.
Why there's an apology for a question?
I am very glad. I hope a lot of people hear you say that. You have no idea how apologetic some of us have to be with the questions that we ask.
No, because see, the fundamental thing is this. In my understanding, a question is a tool at one level, which is your intellectual level. The only way your intellect can know something more is by asking a question. It's a way to dig deeper. Well, this is the intent of the question. If that is the intent of the question, no harm. Whichever kind of question is fine with me. But if the intent of the question, some people are using questions to insult you, do this.
True.
But I made myself like this. Nobody can insult me, nobody can make me unhappy, nobody can make me angry, nobody can make me miserable. These freedoms I kept for myself, these privileges. So nobody need to worry about what kind of questions. If the question is coming with a certain intent, I know how to deal with that question.
No, I would say it again that no, there's no question on bias or agenda. These are just journalistic inquisition questions. Some of them we've actually curated, asking people from all age groups to ask, somebody like you and your stature. So I'd like to begin, Sadhguru, with how it all began. Was there a moment of epiphany? Because what I've read is that possibly on a hill in Mysuru, when you were 25 years of age, there was this moment which made you realize what your higher calling was, if I can say it that.
No. I never said higher calling.
There was no moment of enlightenment?
There was, but why are you calling it a higher calling?
Traditional stereotypes.
I thought…
That makes a Jaggi Vasudev…
I thought you were an agnostic and you'll inquire.
That's a fair point. I agree. I take that. No, but that made a Jaggi Vasudev leave a poultry farm and decide to follow a path which is not really the stereotype of the world.
No, by then I was already into half a dozen businesses.
Okay.
And well, for those days, this is not like what they're talking through today. Success means they're talking $1 trillion, not that kind of success. But for that little town, I was very successful in a matter of 5 years' time, at least among the peers, among my friends and things. Within 5 years, we hit a sweet spot. Because I was into construction, I was into brick making, I was into various things and farms, I was building farms for lots of people. All this I did mainly because this happened when I was 19 plus. I was crisscrossing India and I hit the Nepali border and there they asked for a passport. You won't believe I was nearly 20, but I didn't know what's a passport. I thought my driving license will take me everywhere.
Wow, so a man of the world who you didn't know what at that time.
Today it looks ridiculous, but I'm saying, those days we didn't know what the hell documents are. We were like, we're free. If we have a motorcycle, we thought we can go anywhere. So they stopped me. Then I came back and the first thing is in the next 3 months I got myself a passport. Then I saw I need some money to go away. I want to just ride away without any purpose. Then to make money, I started one business and then doing well, then whatever the opportunities come, you one more, one more, one more. They drew me in for 5 years. So I'm in a condition where I was never arrogant, but a bit cocky because everything that you do is working, everybody's clapping their hands, everybody says you're just doing great and whatever, you're young and everything is vibrant and going.
That's true. There's
So-
a sense of… with youth comes, I think, with
With
maturity,
youth
yeah.
and success,
That's a heady combination. Yeah.
like that. So one afternoon, by then I'm very busy with construction and I'm in a construction industry, developing things and whatever. One afternoon between two business meetings, I have nothing to do. This used to be the culture in Mysore city. I started trekking Chamundi Hills when I was 8 years of age. I camped there when I was probably 10. Camp means just slept on the rocks. If I found 10 rupees and I found my 2 loaves of bread and a few eggs, I would be off and they would be searching for me all over the place. So I just like to walk in the jungles.
You were a loner right from the word go.
Not really, half the town I had friendship, but
But you'd like…
to certain pursuits nobody will come.
fair point.
I plan cycling expeditions, all my friends, at least 3, 4 of them, they will plan, they say coming, coming, coming. Last day they will cancel because their father said something, mother said something. It'll cancel, then I end up going alone. So, this is how it was. By then, I must tell you, by the age of 12, I'm a confirmed atheist.
Confirmed atheist,
Yes,
at
yes.
12?
Yes.
Why?
By I'm 13, 14, I've read Marx and Engels. By 14, I'm ready to join the armed struggle in
Lal Salam.
in Telangana.
Interesting, and?
So, one corrupt professor saved me, otherwise I would have gone.
How would you know that saved you? Maybe it was…
No, I'm saying because my friends, 3 of them went.
and?
Other 2, I don't know where they disappeared, I never heard of them again. One became a reasonably prominent leader and was shot dead about 9 years ago in Mysore.
You fear you would have met the same fate.
Anyway, see now it would have happened, if not… if I survived all these years, it would happen now before February, they're saying it's going to happen.
You could have laid your arms, you think they would have shot you?
Possible, surrender would be usually worse than being shot, When you believe something,
That's true.
when you surrender that out of fear for life, that's not a good thing. Or people are surrendering not necessarily because of fear for life, they see their cause has become futile, it's no more going to yield the results, the grand results that you thought in your head at that moment. So, I'm saying by the time I'm in this state of 25 years that you talked about, I'm a super skeptic. I don't believe anything other than what I see. And I've traveled extensively for my age at that time, within the country, of course. I've seen India like very few people would have seen because I never stayed in a hotel, I stayed just about anywhere. I stepped on a culvert, I stepped on a motorcycle. I walked into anybody's house and in the villages and just ate in their homes, sometimes slept for the night in their home and just went on. So, I've seen people and life in a certain way, which is very unique. When you're nobody, how they accept you, how they embrace you, how they reject you, how they're prejudiced against you. Like I know life more than people of my age would know at that stage, and nearly 5 years I've run the business already. So this afternoon I went up the hill not with any intent. In Mysore, if you have nothing to do, you go to Chamundi Hill, This is our thing, that we want to ride bicycles, we rode up Chamundi Hill. Want to test motorcycles, we go up Chamundi Hill. We want to have a party, we go up Chamundi Hill. You fall in love, you go to Chamundi Hill. If you fall out, you have to go to Chamundi Hill. If you have nothing to do, you go to Chamundi Hill. So that afternoon, I have nothing to do. Unthinking, I just went up Chamundi Hill. It's just that simply you ride because if you have nothing to do, we ride. That's how it was at that time. Mysore is the hometown for Java SD, so we are like motorcycles in our heads, not under us. So went up Chamundi Hill because I know the hill so well through and through. I parked in one place and one of my favorite rocks, I went up. It's my favorite rock because not many people can get there, it's a
Is it
little
still
difficult
there?
to climb. It's still there.
You go.
Not much, now they've marked it as Sadhguru spot and people are visiting and things are happening, so I don't go there. So it's a big rock with one, bonsai-like purple berry tree which is rooted in the rock, so it's not grown very big but it's old, you can see that it's old. I just sat there, my eyes were still open. Till that moment, I thought, this is me and that's you. I have no problem with you, but this is me, that's you. Suddenly I did not know which is me, which is the other. What was me was just all over the place. I thought this lasted for 10-15 minutes, but when I opened my eyes, it was about 4.5 hours. And for the first time in my adult life, after 8 years of age, I had not shed one single tear. I was like this. Here I am, tears and tears, my shirt is all wet. And every cell in my body is just bursting with ecstasy. I didn't know what it is. When I shake my head, 4.5 hours have passed. I did not realize, my eyes are still open, sun has set, it's become dark. I did not realize this. And then I shake my head and ask, what's happening to me? The only thing my mind could say was, maybe you're going off your rocker. Well, to the closest of my friends, I ask, something is happening to me, it's just too beautiful. If I close my eyes, I'm blown away. They said, hey, come on, what did you drink? What did you pop? It's 80s, early 80s.
Even now, I think that hasn't changed. So.
And they say, oh, in the hill did you find mushrooms? I knew I had no context. I have not grown up in any spiritual tradition. No religion was ever forced upon us in our families. My father himself was super agnostic, so nothing was done. Maybe one day in a year, they want us to go to the local temple, which I would not go. I would stay outside. Even as a 5-year-old child, they couldn't take me inside because I have questions. They can't answer those questions, I will not go in. And they never could answer my questions, so I never went in. So I was always left with the footwear man. Footwear is a big issue in the temples.
Sometimes you don't find it when you come
That's
back.
what I'm saying. Before you come out, they would have walked away with somebody else.
That's happened with me.
So, this guy holds me like this and he's doing his business, holding me by the wrist because he thinks I'm going to run away somewhere. They're paying him more to take care of me than their footwear, because I'm live, footwear is dead, okay. So I just sit there and watch this footwear business. I understood footwear very well, how it is. People come, someone like you, and their footwear is gone. They just curse everybody, the whole creation and the creator. Just now they were there and they forgot. That's one thing that… first thing I brought in our programs was people… even now people talk about it. Always if 100, 200, 500 people are there, I was the one who arranged all their footwear in our programs. Even today in the ashram, if I see footwear little off, I go… so everybody's scared, Sadhguru will arrange it himself. So they will all fix it. Because it's such a stupid thing that you can't leave your footwear in one place. You just throw it and go. When you come back, you search all over the place.
Fair point.
It's so silly. It's not about the value of the footwear. It's just that the inconvenience that you have to go somewhere without footwear, So I saw this, and next to the temple was a nice restaurant. I wish they could take me there because I was eternally hungry at that time. I could eat anything. any quantity and still be hungry. So I was watching people coming out of the temple, people coming out of the restaurant. People coming out of the restaurant seem to have more joyful faces. So between the divine and the dosa, dosa seems to be winning hands down, which didn't seem fair as I grew up. Somewhere, something is amiss here. I'm not somebody who made conclusions, this is it, that is it. But I knew nobody seems to know what they're talking about. Everybody is mouthing something. Nobody seems to know what they're talking about, so I became quiet. Quiet because I developed a certain level of observation that if somebody gives me a glass of water, I would be just looking at the water for 3–4 hours because I don't know what is water. I know how to use it, but I don't know what it is. Even today you don't know what it is. With all the scientific knowledge, we still do not know one atom in its entirety. This is a fact. So if I find a leaf, I'm just gazing at it forever. If I sit up in the bed in the night, I'm just staring at the darkness for whole night. My father being a physician, he started thinking I need psychiatric evaluation. This boy is simply staring at something all the time, it looks like he's lost it.
And this was that moment after,
No,
from
this
then
is…
on?
I'm talking about 4.5 years of age.
Oh, you're talking about then?
Yes.
Oh, so there was always… okay.
4.5 years of age, I realized I don't know anything. So if I look at something, I can't take my eyes off. Simply I'm looking at it because I'm not able to figure what it is. I'm seeing layers and layers, but still I don't know what it is. Even now you can't figure one leaf in its entirety, isn't it? Any amount of science, you still don't know one leaf. You don't know one atom.
Were you a good student?
Student of life.
Of academics?
Not in the school.
No, in school I'm asking.
I didn't go there much.
You didn't?
I got lost on the way. I started my scientific research when I was just 3.5 years of age.
In hindsight, yes, in staring at… right.
And I don't know if these things are relevant for your podcast, you can cut them out because silly stuff. I'm 3.5 years of age because I'm too bouncy active. So they put me into some kind of school.
Okay.
I don't know what that school was. So this maid, she holds me tightly and takes me and leaves me in the class because probably that's her instruction. Then after some time I rebel at the gate, you leave me at the gate, otherwise I'll bawl. So she left me at the gate. So then I started my scientific research. I found Grand Canyon. I was in Shivamogga in Karnataka. And I found all kinds of specimens and everything. My father being a doctor, there were lots of used injection, little bottles. I collected lots of specimen and doing study. Then after 3.5 months, they caught me and they said I was playing in the gutter. Why I'm saying this is, I was not willing to listen to anybody speaking anything unless it meant something to them. I saw teachers were blabbering something which doesn't mean a damn thing to them. Even today, this is my thing, you saying the most important thing, I don't care. You're saying something that matters to you, I will listen, absolutely. It doesn't matter to you, why should it matter to me? Lot of people are talking things that don't matter to them. For livelihood, they're speaking something. So, school I went only when I had to, otherwise I got lost on the way here and there. And school started like this, that my mother said, you must pay attention to the teacher, don't look here and there. I went and paid attention to the teacher, the kind of attention they would have never received in their life. There are lots of funny things that happen in that. One important thing is, initially I kind of understood what they're trying to say. But then I realized, they're just making sounds. I'm making up the meanings. See, language is a conspiracy. Right now, if I start talking in a language that you don't understand, somebody there will understand. Only they will know, it's between the two people. But Meanings are made up in our minds. Right now I'm making sounds, you're making up the meaning because English is a conspiracy between us.
Well, nowadays, English is a conspiracy. In the current political
You
times, we'll come to that
you're
later.
getting political with everything.
No, no, I'm even just that. I'll come back to that, but continue.
I'm speaking about it in more existential terms.
I agree.
It's just a sound that we are making.
True.
So when I saw they're making sounds, I'm making up the meanings, then I said, why should I make up the meanings? And I stopped making meanings. I just listening keenly to the sound. Hour after hour, teacher after teacher making sounds, making sounds. It became very amusing and a big smile spread on my face. But they were not amused. My schooling went like this. I consistently, in all monthly tests, always I got consistent 6 zeros because I refused to write a single word. If they insisted, I wrote my name, otherwise I just let it be. And I always passed the final examination because I didn't want to be left behind with my friends and other things. I don't want to go with those junior
So
whatever.
that was necessity. So
Huh? Yeah.
yeah. So you did it for that.
I just always, if you look at my mark sheets, they're all preserved, all 35, 36, 37, 35, 36, 37, because I calculated. Once I think I'm getting that, I got up and left.
That was a good calculation to get it spot on. So at 25, when you come back from the hill,
When I came back from the hill, I was already into business and I came near my office. We had an office in a prime spot in Mysore because it's a prime spot and we are two young people started this business. We don't have a spacious office like that, just 12 feet wide and about 50 feet long, and long office we have. Tables, tables, tables like this. So deep inside, my partner is sitting and doing negotiations for the day because that is the payment day. For all the material we bought that week, whatever cement, steel, everything that we buy, we pay on that particular day. These negotiations, a lot of haggling and stuff. I came there and I looked, I was still sitting on the motorcycle, I looked inside and just… what I was just a few hours ago, that guy was gone. I just couldn't go there and do this business anymore.
you never went back there.
I just left from there. My partner was looking at me, thinking, why is he not coming in? I left. Then I should have gone home, but I suddenly knew that the world I knew, the people that I knew, people that I loved and knew very well, suddenly they were all strangers because it was just wiped out, that whole thing. Not that it was not in my memory was there, but the distance was like this. And I didn't have the courage to go home and see my mother like that. With everybody else I was okay. I couldn't look at her face like she's a stranger. So, I didn't want to go home. So I went and sat on a lake bed and spent some time there, waited till about 11:15 like that so that she will go to bed. Then I came home, turned off the motorcycle, slipped in quietly. I had ways of getting into the house without opening the door. Nobody knew, they never realized how I get into the house, how I get out of the house. Fortunately, nobody else found it.
You had your ways.
So I quietly got into the house and dinner was on the table, I went and sat down. Because those days I couldn't do without dinner. Today, food is not at all a problem for me, I can just easily go without food. But at that time I was like so hungry, means always so hungry. Quietly trying to eat, anyway we're Indians, we eat with hands, we don't make any noise quietly. But Indian mothers, she won't sleep. She came and, why so late, you don't eat on time, are you doing, da-da-da, she's talking. I just put my head down and eating because I don't want to look at her face. Suddenly, because I'm a complete stranger in that house, in my business. Business was easy, I walked out, but I was just totally different. And how different means, just to give more authentic kind of thing. In a matter of 6 weeks, the shape of my eyes changed. My voice changed. I was 25. My voice would have changed when I was
You would
14.
have cracked then, yeah, and it changed.
But at 25, my voice again changed. My gait changed, the way I walk. I didn't change these things intentionally, simply changed. Humongous amounts of memory, like you can't imagine, that kind of memory just came into me. And I didn't want to believe this, though it was clear as daylight. My skeptical mind doesn't believe it, so I traveled. For about a year and a half, I traveled checking these places, is this really true? And everywhere it was like crystal clear, the places that I see are the places that were there.
So you'd seen those places before you went to those places?
Yes, memory came back like, there's no way to describe it. Like, whatever memory I had for 25 years of living, let us say 100-fold memory came where it was such a huge load on the head.
So everything was a deja vu moment, you'd seen it before,
Yes.
it's that.
So I traveled for a year and a half to confirm this. So this 1.5 years of travel, well, when I got into business, well, at least my father and family was disappointed because everybody is well-educated and he is academically always number one, two, he is. He's super disappointed that I have not become a physician, because in India, a physician's son must become a physician, you know. So like, at that time at least it was set, there was nothing else possible. And super disappointed, but slowly they came to terms. Anyway, he's very successful with what he's doing and… But without any reason, when I just dropped and left, half the town I knew, because I was so active and I knew whole lot of people, all age groups. But suddenly, 1.5 years later when I come back, I had become like enemy of the people for no reason. I didn't owe anybody any money, I didn't owe anything to anyone, but because a successful business, I just dropped and went away. People thought he's dangerous.
He's mad,
Huh?
and he's lost it.
They know I'm not mad, I'm more sane than them.
No, but that's the perception. Why would anybody walk away from something
They
so
think
good?
he's dangerous, he's got something else going.
That's what they thought, okay.
Lot of people thought I'm dangerous.
Ah.
Keep distance from him, he's dangerous. He just… like that he went away.
Wow,
What's he
okay.
up to? Kind of thing.
There were lots of conspiracy theories at that time.
Well, I don't know what they were thinking, I didn't care.
What was that, was there, an instance, because when I was reading up, I read that you went in a track suit, a pair of track pants and, a track suit, and you came back wearing a lion cloth and just your turban.
Who is that?
Is that?
No.
Okay? It's anecdotal. Okay, so like I said, there are so many.
No.
The conversation around you precedes you. When was that moment that Jaggi Vasudev turned to Sadhguru?
See, it's not that I decided to become a guru or a Sadhguru. It's just that I must tell you some strange things that started happening around me. Many things, which some of them you can't digest, so I'll leave them out.
No, but sure.
Simple things like, I was trekking in Himalayas regularly, so those days we travel by train to Haridwar and from there we trek. So I'm going by train and in Vijayawada or somewhere, one Telugu family gets in, the 4 berths in the classic Indian railways. First class, no, it's that sleeper class, whatever. No, it's a first class one because it's closed.
You have a compartment, that's
Yeah,
first class.
you have a compartment. So I have one berth, lower berth, because I'm a window watcher, I sit and watch. That's how I see the country. So I sit there and watch. I'm there and one Telugu family came in, husband, wife and one daughter of theirs, which she must be around 17 years of age. So she came and sat there, like about this kind of distance, like where you're sitting. Parents busy, this and everything. By then I'm blown away. I don't want to look at anybody because if I look at people, they burst into tears.
Really?
Yes, strangers on the street. If I simply look at somebody, they will start crying.
Even today?
Even today, you will see in our programs, it's like that. I'm more controlled and, I know how to handle this now. So I don't want to look at people, I'm just namaskaram and then looking out. Then this girl, ooh, she goes, I thought, what the hell is happening? And I just glanced at her, she's like wide-eyed and screaming. Father is asking, what happened, what happened? She says like this, she's pointing at me. I said, oh my God, what? He's asking, what did you do, what did you do? They don't know that I know Telugu, my mother tongue is Telugu. I pretending that I don't know the language, simply sitting there. She's saying like this. Father is asking, what did you do, what did you do? Oh my God. Like this it was. In close quarters, if somebody sits with me, they will go like that.
Even today?
Even today, you're not going because you're an agnostic. You're not an agnostic.
But I thought it wasn't belief.
No, no. You agnostic means you don't believe anything, but you believe things.
Of course.
That's what
I believe in science.
That means it's not science. It's another religion.
No, it's with what I see,
No, no. If you believe in science, you don't belong to Christianity, Islam or anything else, you belong to Isaac Newton's religion. Science is not to be believed.
No, I believe in with what I see, and science I see there's an explanation for things.
I'm
So
saying
but that's me. It doesn't matter what I believe.
No, I'm trying to say what is agnostic. Agnostic means you've not taken any stand. You're willing to
No,
look at life.
agnostic for me is until and unless I see that there, I see evidence that there is God, because I would think God or a higher.
No, I'm saying agnostic
force.
about everything, not just about God business.
No, I'm talking about belief. I'm not agnostic about everything. I have very strong beliefs in things, but it's not about me. It's about you.
Let me explain this to you. I'm agnostic about everything.
About everything. Okay.
About everything. Because this is something I train myself to be, that people who have been with me 20, 30, 40 years, I still sit here without an opinion in my mind about them.
That's a.
Takes a lot of training.
I agree, not to judge somebody.
Just
Yes.
to look at them the way they are right now. Because if you don't see the way it is right now, you will end up with prejudiced action.
I hear you there.
So whether it's God or no God, atheists and theists are the same people. One believes there is God, another believes there is no God. Both people believe some nonsense that they don't know. They're not straight enough to admit, I do not know. That's the whole problem. I do not know is a tremendous possibility. If you see I do not know, the longing to know, the seeking to know, and the possibility of knowing becomes a living reality. Because I do not know, I assume something and I put my emotion behind it and it becomes my belief system. It doesn't get you anywhere, you're just thinking of some nonsense. The moment you believe something, you need another 10 people just like you to be with you, otherwise you can't be. A seeker always wants to be alone, a believer always wants to be in a flock, because if you are the only person who believes that, you will feel stupid in this world. You need another 10, 100 people believing the
Believe
same thing.
No, I agree.
So, my whole work is this, my life is this and my work is this, to bring people to a place where they're comfortable not knowing a damn thing. Just alert to life. Because if you… see, I know something is just a conclusion, it's not a reality. Because everything has a million dimensions to it if you pay enough attention. If you pay enough attention to something, everything has endless amount of
Possibility.
depth.
I agree.
So we may know something for functionality. For functionality, we know something. But beyond that, we don't know anything in this world. Transactional world, we might have figured out a little bit, but we don't know things as they are. But if your thing is about knowing, then any belief is a huge obstruction to who you are. You will never know anything, you'll just assume things. And you will try to be among those people who have similar assumptions.
You find your echo chamber, wherever it is, you find that.
I'm saying that is how prejudice, that is how racism, that is how everything comes up, because you You try to gravitate towards that because when you believe something, you need support. If
Yeah.
you experience something absolutely, then you don't need anybody's support. Suddenly being alone is fantastic. So, one fundamental thing in the yogic culture is… Anyway, I started yoga when I was just about 11 years of age for all the wrong reasons. In the yogic culture, we never identify with our knowledge. Because knowledge, even if you read the libraries of the planet, what we know in this cosmos is minuscule. But our ignorance is boundless. So we always identify with our ignorance, and in that you become boundless. The boundaries are set because I know this, I don't know this. So, this needs a certain discipline. My work is just to bring that discipline into people's lives, just to be here without jumping into conclusions about anything, except for functional things we make some assumptions. But they're just assumptions, they need not become belief systems. Having said that, from that moment at 25 years of age, within about 6 to 8 weeks, I kind of stabilized a bit and it became like a living experience. I close my eyes and sit like this, I think it's 2 minutes, 7, 8 hours have passed. My sense of time just vanished. If I simply sit like this, simply if I turn like this and turn like this, many hours are gone. In my experience, it's just 2 minutes.
And do you time travel or do you…
It's not that.
It's not that.
See,
Are you here? Are you
I'm
meditating?
very much here.
Or are you somewhere else?
No, I'm very much here.
You're here. Okay.
Yes, at that time, it was like flabbergasting for me. What is happening? Am I losing it? First thing that comes to you is maybe you're losing your balance. What's happening to you?
Yeah, I would think so.
You would think so, yes. I wouldn't say anything to it because I thought so.
Yeah, no, for somebody who's lived, what is seen in the eyes of people, a very regular, structured life, in, a little bit of anomalies like what you said when you were younger, where schooling was concerned and how you focused on things, then suddenly at 25 to have that moment which changes the trajectory of your thinking completely.
Yes.
It is.
That's why I said they thought I'm dangerous. I didn't harm anybody, I didn't say anything violent. Not even in words I was violent, but they thought I'm dangerous simply because you don't conform to any norm, he doesn't belong anywhere.
No, I hear you there. So how did Sadhguru happen?
So, after 6, 8 weeks when I stabilized, I realized, I was just thinking, what is making me blissed out like this? I just close my eyes, I'm just bursting, tears coming to my eyes. Then I paid attention and figured out, if I don't mess with my psychological process, if I just keep my little distance, suddenly every cell in my body is producing something which makes me drip like that. Then I thought, this is it, I've discovered something. And I was 25. People say there's no fool like a young fool, but when you're young, you say there's no fool like an old fool, all right? You're in between, so you can't say anything. So, I sat down and planned. This is so simple that if you simply sit here, you'll burst into ecstasy. Who wouldn't want it? I can't think of one person who wouldn't want it. They're doing all kinds of circus in their life to find little happiness. So I sat down, I was a geography buff by then. I sat down and made a plan.
A business plan.
Huh?
A business plan.
Not really a business plan, a plan
Huh.
that in 2.5 years' time, on that day the population was some 4.8384, something like that, billion. I said, I will make the whole world blissful in 2.5 years' time. I had a plan how to execute this. Look at me, 43 years.
Oh, you've executed it very well.
No, people say, this year already they're calculating, it's still another half a month left, we will cross probably some more. We've crossed 6 billion video views this year. But our unique views are around 2 billion. That means about 2 billion people are watching, a little more than that maybe, because WhatsApp is there which we don't know. And there are other platforms which are propagating the same material. In our own platforms, this is. But 2 billion is not my idea of the world. Population has become 8.4 billion. Something so simple, but as I worked, I realized how committed people are to their miseries. They're so committed. Even if you offer them the greatest thing, they will stick to their misery because they're used to it.
There's some comfort in misery as well, at times. But
All the best then, I'm sorry.
no, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just in general. It's
There is no comfort, it is just that it becomes a rut in your mind.
exactly,
A rut is formed, you can't get out of it.
exactly.
But I'm giving you a simple method where you can get out of all ruts. All you have to do is little distance from your psychological process and you will burst. Say, right now, we have an event, it's been happening around the world. Now we have an event in Mumbai, about 15,000 people. It's called the ecstasy of enlightenment. You come and see there, you will see at least 80–85% of the people will be dripping with ecstasy. Simply tears and joy like that, uncontrollable levels. But not doing anything, no particular practice, no drink, no drug, no nothing. Now we have scientific proof. We have a research center in the Beth Israel Hospital, which is a teaching hospital for Harvard Medical School, where they have mapped this properly in the blood chemistry and the other aspects of the body, and they are saying this 21-minute practice what we are giving, which is just to give you the distance. If you sit here, your body is here, your mind is here, what is you is little away, that's all it is doing. With that, they are saying in about 8 to 12 weeks of practice, your BDNA is like 70% higher and your endocannabinoids are many-fold higher than normal. That means your body is producing cannabinoids for you. And your bliss factor is 23% higher than a sexual orgasm. This is well documented now in scientific circles. Doing nothing, simply sitting here. Because human experience is caused from within. Will you use an external stimulant to cause this, or can you consciously cause this? This is all there is. So I thought the whole world will… It is like I'm like idiotic like Marx. Marx thought the whole world will become communist in no time, all right? I thought the whole world will become blissful in 2.5 years' time. 44 years almost now.
No, but you yourself counted the number of people.
Yeah, but that is not the whole world.
But that's quite a sizable chunk for people to,
But
you know.
I'm a failure, I know.
act.
I will die a failure, but a blissful failure.
Well, you're being hard on yourself in that account
I'm
of at
not
least with
hard.
what you wanted to do.
I'm just saying that because my interest is humanity, my interest is not a segment of people.
No, and you're doing what you think is right.
I am,
So the bliss comes in
but
there.
I'm saying we will die without fulfilling the targets.
The whole world. Okay. No, so the title of Sadhguru came in…
Guru is a four-letter word. So people start calling Guruji, this and that. I said, no. Then something happened, people connected to where I went. This is all too much for the podcast.
No.
The next part of it.
No, at the end of it, we'll take out what you want, or we'll
No,
play.
no, I'm
it.
okay.
So you can
It's
go for
just
2 hours.
People should not die of indigestion, that's all.
No.
There was somebody in Tamil Nadu who was called as Sadhguru Sri Brahma. And when people saw people who were associated with him, he was long past, people who were associated with him, they came searching for me, saying Sadhguru has come. I was not called Sadhguru at that time. Everybody was calling me by first, not even first name, pet name. What my mother called me as Jaggi.
Jaggi, yes.
Everybody called me Jaggi,
Yeah.
okay? Everybody. I'm saying public called me Jaggi at that time. These people came looking for me. I said, don't do this, I don't want to come there and start that old business again. But once they came and they spoke, it's the same person who's come here, this, that, then people started calling me Sadhguru.
So they saw you as a reincarnation of Sadhguru.
In a way, but essentially, what Sadhguru means is, see, if you go to a guru, sometimes you go to learn a scripture or something about a tradition, or maybe some people go for predictions and stuff. Sadhguru means one who has come from within. That means you don't go to him for scripture because I have not read any scripture, tradition, I don't know any tradition. Future, my work is to help you to create your future, not to predict your future. So, why do you go to a Sadhguru? Because the only thing that I know, though there's only one thing I know this piece of life from its origin to its ultimate, and that's all I know. Always I'm only talking about myself, but everybody thinks I'm talking about them because they are not made any differently. Fundamentally, all life is made the same way. I talk about this life, they think I know everything about their life.
No, I get that, and I understand why, people would look at you. So you accepted the title of Sadhguru because people
See,
started.
Sadhguru is not a title, it's a description.
Huh.
See, you have no problem, you're wonderful, but I'm saying, suppose there is some problem with your bone, you go to an orthopedic. I'm saying an orthopedic, it came to me first because an orthopedic surgeon golfed with me today morning.
Oh, you do golf, yeah.
So, you don't go to an ophthalmologist if you have a bone problem, or the other way around. So, this is a description. In this culture, if you said Sadhguru, you know you don't go and discuss Vedas with him, scriptures with him, or traditions with him, because there's only one thing he knows his life, absolutely. If you wish to know that, you should go, otherwise no.
Otherwise, no. But it's been a journey, Sadhguru, and there is a set which looks at with, the Isha Foundation, with you being the center of that foundation, as possibly a running of a cult. You've heard this before. You've been asked this before.
If you define what's a cult, then I'll tell you whether I'm that or not.
A cult is where one person becomes… Do you want to get some water and then we'll…
No, I have water.
You're fine.
I can drink when you're asking question, right?
Okay, sure. No, I thought you were… That's fine. No, a cult is where one person becomes the center point of an organization of people, Sadhguru, where, he's eulogized, and there are activities within the fold of it which are not really acceptable. Now, they can be legal, illegal, that I'm not even getting into. But these are charges which have been laid at your doorstep before. And, impressionable minds joining you on that account with belief.
No.
You don't think it's that?
I'm constantly destroying all belief. That people come with a lot of beliefs, my work is to destroy all their beliefs and leave them there, where they realize they don't know a damn thing. I'm not here to make them feel confident and comfortable. I'm here to make them understand confusion is much better than stupid conclusions that you make. So, as you said, cult means it's around one person. Tell me what's not around one person. A family is around one person to start with, all right? An organization, a business is around one person to start with. As it grows, it may go. So today, our centers are all over the world. I never even go to them, all right? I only go to a few places. Rest I don't go, they run by themselves, so they're not around me. The people are conducting this around a certain process, a process that's worked for them and millions of people around them. So this organization and people gathering like this is not around me. Yes, maybe I'm appreciated for that, for offering that process, but they are all gathered for that fundamental experience that caused by simple process, which is scientific. What is it that you call as scientific? Suppose if I drop something, it falls down. If I drop this also, it falls down. If I drop that also, it falls down. Whatever I drop, it falls down. Then you say, oh, everything goes down, all right? I'm making it simplistic. So right now, if I make you do something, it worked well for you and there is scientific data from top universities in the world to show that it actually is working on all levels. Not only in your experience, you may be psyched up,
And medical.
you may be psyched up and you may be saying things, but your blood is not psyched up, the cellular studies are not psyched up, all right? So there is substantial scientific evidence to show that it is working on all levels. So if it's working for you, him and her and everybody, for millions of people, how can you say it's not scientific? Because our idea of science has become so constipated, we think only material objects can come under science. Subjective sciences are irrelevant. No, this is the biggest mistake we've made. Approaching our subjectivity in a scientific manner is most important. This is what the yogic system is about. So this is not around me, this is around the processes that are given to them. Whether I'm there or not there, for months I'm not there. Even in the main center, I'm not there for months in a year, all right? I'm maybe there for 1 or 2 months at the most in the headquarters. And in the United States, a very large center coming up, I'm hardly there for a few days in a year. Everything goes on, so it's not around me. It's a very… run by dedicated volunteers. We are about a little over 7,000 full-time volunteers, over 19 million part-time volunteers. For all of them to be stupid is not scientific.
No, I hear you, and but I'll give you an example. Osho, his teachings were centered around, what many would suggest a little bit of what the same you preach, which is where blissfulness, the art of blissfulness, and how those who followed him should follow that path. And ultimately, when people look back, Osho was called a cult.
See, I wouldn't like to comment about anybody who can't stand up and defend for himself right now.
True.
I don't
I
like
agree.
to do that. So leaving that alone, well, if it worked for millions of people, you call it whatever the hell you want. If it's working for millions of people, what's your problem?
Many thought they were brainwashed.
I think a lot of people's brains need washing.
Well, I do agree on that account completely with you. Okay. No, I agree with that. So you
I
would…
thought washing is supposed to be a clean-up job, not a dirtying job, yes?
Well, it's subjective.
No, what does the washing mean?
No, washing, of course, I
Of
know what you're
course.
saying, right.
So, if your
Or the
body…
inability for them to think for themselves,
See,
the followers.
right now, people…
Indoctrinated.
People who are saying this, they are also indoctrinated by the societies in which they live, isn't it? Aren't they?
No, I'm sure in some are, yes. There is…
Not some, almost all are.
There are reference
nearly
points of
100%.
morality, there are reference points
Yes.
of what…
You are influenced by something as human beings, because human life is 90% nurture, only 10% is by natural instincts. Because it's so much of nurture, if your parents nurture you, they're also brainwashing you. If your school nurtures you, they're also brainwashing you. If your society and friends nurture you, they're also brainwashing you. So what's your problem with me?
No, I have no problem.
No, not you.
I know
I'm
what
saying
you're saying.
whoever.
Yeah, there are questions. Okay, let me come to that, Sadhguru. Would you call
No,
yourself…
about whether legal or not, I think I should settle that.
Huh.
There is absolutely not one thing that's not legal. But you're asking me this question because the social media is saying, I'm doing all kinds of criminal activity. Just to make it… because people who know me, they believed it till recently, so now I'm clearing it up. In my whole life and in the life of Isha Foundation, which is nearly 40 years now, there has not been a single criminal case or any case. I've never gone to a court or a police station in my life. But they're making AI pictures where I'm being dragged on the streets by the police.
That's
What
why
do you…
you've gone to court, to preserve your personality
Yes.
rights. Yes.
Because they're using all kinds of devices. This is because, our people struggling with this, especially in the last 2 years, there's been such a campaign, and even by certain governments, campaigns against us, simply investigations about nothing. What is the investigation? There must be some crime to do investigation, right? No, there's an investigation because you're a spiritual organization. When did this happen? But it's happening in our country. So,
Do you think it's something that is off late, that has come now? It wasn't there earlier. People targeting you because right from the beginning, they've spoken. There are people who've said what they had to say.
it's okay.
Is it bothering you now?
See, everybody can have their opinion, I have no issue. But I'm saying a government should not have an opinion right or wrong about you. If you're legal, they must leave you alone, right?
I agree
If you
with
don't
that.
break the… if you don't break the law, it's not their business as to what I'm teaching or not teaching. Anyway, this is a funny thing that happened in Tennessee where we're building a whole city.
You're building a city.
Yes, it's a 23,000 acre plot and we're building a city for 25 to 30,000 people. It's called the Conscious City. It's part of the Conscious Planet movement that we have launched. So, there are also some campaigns going on in the… like it's a very, what to say, ultra-religious region. We're in rural Tennessee, very hardcore religious thing, so some campaigns going on and all this.
Sadhguru, can I intervene? And can I ask you a question? You talk about a city. Have you seen the Wild West on Osho?
But Wild West?
Wild West, the documentary on Osho, it's a documentary on Osho.
Wild West?
Wild West is a documentary. It's a very popular documentary.
Is that so?
Very, very popular. And a documentary on Osho, which ultimately talks of Osho running a cult. And they talk about the city he set up in Oregon at that time.
Listen to this. I think it's not just him, probably a few others in the past, always tried to create a utopian world of their own. That's not this thing. We will never do that because one fundamental thing is that our people are always engaged in the world. They have to be engaged in the world because creating a separate world is not the answer. As I said, I will die a failure because I'm not able to touch the whole humanity. If I just want to do a cult, all I need is a few thousand people or maybe a few 100,000 people, they can run that. City is not for that purpose. This is an environment-friendly city. Out of 23,000 acres, we have committed 70% to conservation and only 30% we are building for people who want to live in a conducive atmosphere like that. These are all families with children and works. Already 800 people are living there, others will come slowly. And we are also building business offices where people can work off-site or they can make full-time offices there. We are now working on building a data center there. So this is a living place where everybody can transact. So these people said this, that, this is a new religion they're bringing. I said, there's no such problem, you're all church-going. I'll give you land inside the ashram. You want to build a church, build it. If you talk sense, our people will listen. If you talk nonsense, they'll get up and leave. If you're ready for that, build a church, I'm okay. I'm not threatened by whatever nonsense you do it. So anyway, I'll tell you a funny thing that happened. Because in the local social media, they were doing some obscene things and saying, we are doing this, we are doing that and all kinds of things. Essentially, they think we're Muslims. This is the
But you're
problem.
Muslims?
Yeah.
Have they not seen okay.
No,
Go
the
ahead.
thing is, if you don't belong to the hardcore community that is there, first thing is they will say you are doing some weird gods and stuff like that. Or they will say you're Muslim. And we invited all of them because in Tennessee, fresh baked biscuits and tea are a big deal. That's a Tennessee specialty. So we baked biscuits, made country music for them and invited all the local people, the prominent people in the local society. These are small counties with 10,000–15,000 populations, all right. One county with 18,000 population, all the prominent people, city officers, everybody. They all came to our meditation hall. It's the largest meditation hall in the Western Hemisphere. It's a single dome without columns. It's a unique dome like that. They came in, there is nothing here, empty, no gods. Then they went back and said, these are communists, they are godless people. So I'm saying for
You
everything…
just said, I once was, I'm no longer.
So all this was happening and our people, I did not go, so our people there who
Right.
managed the situation there, they went to meet the governor. Because the governor is wanting to put us on the tourism map because we are one of the most favored places to come to in Tennessee right now.
I want to also ask you, because you talk about where they thought that you were Muslims or you were communists. What do you represent, Sadhguru? Is there a religion to your spirituality? Because you're seen or were seen as a spiritual guru. Is there a religion to it, or you are religion agnostic, but your belief systems lie in your spiritual beliefs?
See, let's understand what's a religion. Religion means you're trying to address your well-being through a belief system. You believe whether in this direction, that direction, wherever you think there is, somebody is sitting there who'll manage your life or save you or do something, whatever. Belief system, essentially. Belief means you have assumed something that you do not know. See, if I ask you, do you believe you have two hands? No, you know you have two hands, right? But if I ask you, is there God? You will say, I believe he is there, I believe he is not there. So essentially, somewhere we have lost this fundamental sincerity. What I don't know, what the hell is the problem? What is the problem in saying I don't know? Because we have this problem, there are theists and atheists. They are not different people, just believing different things. So, the yogic sciences are a scientific approach to human well-being. We know if you sit like this is what will happen in your body. If you hold your hands like this, what will happen? If you hold it like this, what will happen? I can show it to you by experiment.
No, I believe in yoga. That's something I believe in.
If you breathe one way, what will happen? If you breathe
Breathe the
another
other
way,
way.
what will happen? So this is a profound science which has come out of very profound observation of our systems. So this is why this is a Sadhguru, he doesn't know anything else, he knows how this one works. Well, we were talking about this because day before yesterday I was in conversation with the chairperson of the hospital where I was, and she was saying, this is absolutely incredible. The doctors don't believe how you are the way you are. You're more active than before. I'm not more active by choice because I was down for 4 months, they're keeping me busy. They think I took a holiday they're making sure I work. So lots of activity, travel, everything. She says, this is just impossible medically what you're doing right now. So I'm saying this is yoga, it's not impossible. See, it's difficult for people to understand. For almost 27 years, on an average, I slept only 2.5 hours a day. Am I sleep deprived? I'm not.
That could the brain bleed have been a result of that? Many would think
No, that's
yes.
because I knocked myself around a little bit. Little… still I thought I'm a
But
young boy.
Sadhguru, yoga comes also from Hinduism. Many look at you as a spiritual guru that possibly represents a particular religion, which is Hinduism.
See, where yoga comes from, let's look at this. If you want to trace it back, it comes from Adi Yogi. His timing, as per the celestial arrangements that are mentioned here and there, timing is approximately 15,000 years. 15,000 years ago, nobody was religious. There was no religion per se. People bow down to the sun. That's not a religion, because if it doesn't come up, we know what happens to us. People bow down to rain, to soil, things that matter in their lives, okay? This is… right now, because everything is Western narrative in the world and we've all succumbed to that, because of that we think, oh, this is paganistic religion. It is not something that makes my life, I bow down to it out of a certain reverence towards food. We bow down to the food. Oh, you're a food religion. Arey, we are not food religion. We know without this we will not sustain. So we are grateful that it's sitting in my plate. So similarly to a tree or to a cow became like this because we drank the milk from it. When there were famines, those who didn't have cows, their children died. Those who had cows, their children lived. Would you bow down to the cow or not if your children lived? That's all. We're just making everything into something because people come from a mindset that you have to be this or that. They cannot understand that you don't have to belong to this group or that group. You don't have to belong to anything. Being human is good enough. So is it religion agnostic? Absolutely. Well, first of all, this Hindu thing, See, this is a very misunderstood thing because the word Hindu is a geographical identity. Between Himalayas and Hindu Sagara, this land is called Hindu. Why we became a little reverential towards these two geographical features of Himalayan ranges and the Indian Ocean is, it took a long time for people to find passages through the Himalayas and come here. We knew in the rest of the world was ruled… the rest of the world for those days was Central Asia and Europe and Arabia. All warlords all across, fighting endlessly. That's how their history was. We knew they did not come here because of Himalayan ranges. And we knew some other strange creatures did not come this way because there was an ocean that they cannot cross. So we were worshipful because our civilization developed for 5,000–6,000 years uninterrupted, without any attacks, without any major wars, without anything like that, for a very long time. So we became reverential, this is what is saving our lives. So we identify with the geographical features and said, this land is Hindu, everything that's born in this land is Hindu. This doesn't mean I believe something. The earthworm in this land is a Hindu earthworm. It's like saying an elephant born in Africa is an African elephant. Does it become a particular religion? No, it's a geographical identity. Then came Sanatan. Okay, that's another thing.
And then came Hindutva. But fine, let's complete your thought.
You're not able to come out of your television box.
I hear you. I do hear you. I do hear you.
You must come off that, we're just having a conversation.
That's why. Right.
So, the yogic culture, the yogic sciences which were expounded by Adiyogi over 15,000 years ago, he even spoke about human evolution, which is almost parallel to Darwin's theory of evolution. And he described the body, human body, in how many ways you can work it, in how many ways you can attain to the peak levels of what a human being can be. He identified those things, taught the methods to his 7 disciples, they went in so many directions, there are so many historical things, let's not go there. But this fundamental, slowly, the people started imbibing because people saw that it's working for some people. They were called sages and saints, their lives were beautiful, so everybody wants to imbibe something, but everybody doesn't have the same discipline and the focus towards their well-being. As I said, people are deeply committed to their miseries. Even if you offer them a blissful way, they won't take it.
No, because they're used to it, used to being miserable.
Anything unfamiliar, they won't go. Familiarity is like
it's
that.
comfort sometimes,
Yes.
That's the sad part, I agree.
So, because of that, they take little bits. And that became the larger culture. Yogic, if you just look carefully at a whole lot of so-called Hindu practices, there is a yogic science behind it, but totally distorted, doing in some other way. See, it's not so much in north maybe, but it's there in north also, but more so in south. This probably because south did not see as many invasions as north saw.
True.
We were kind of protected by the distance and whatever, because people had to come by land. Only when people came by sea, they took us. Till then, we were quite safe there. If you see, there is a whole yoga in the villages. If you want to offer something, this is how you give. If you want to receive something, this is how you receive. If you want to stand with respect, this is how you stand. For everything there is a posture and a mudra and a asana of its own. If you want to eat, this is how you eat. If you want to study, this is how you study. Today, like in United States, they're doing what's called as brain yoga. You know what's the brain yoga? To hold your earlobes like this and squat, which everybody does in the temples. Because there is a way of activating your neurological thing, you stretch your spine, your lumbar spine and pull your ears, something gets triggered. If you're not very late night show, right? What are you, 9 o'clock, is it?
My show?
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Oh, 7. So you sleep early.
No, I don't.
You don't, I know that.
Need to. I need to sleep early, which I don't.
But I'm saying in terms of work, at least it's over by probably 8:30, 9 for you. If you're feeling drowsy, just crack this ear like this and see, talk.
So that's very good advice. I would need this.
You will become awake like that, like
Okay,
a
just
coffee.
pull it out like that, huh? This
You just hold the cartilage part
and do that.
like not down here, like a 45-degree angle. You just
pull it.
tuck, you hear that sound, you will see it's like you had a coffee.
I'm going to use that many times. You need to.
So this is why if a teacher found you little dull in the school, in the old school,
They would do that.
they want to do that. They want to
There's
activate your brain.
Rhyme for every
Today
reason.
they're practicing this in California, calling it brain yoga. But now the moment it happens in America, it's science. We have a disease like this. If you do it here, it's a cult.
No, let me.
Why is everybody sitting the same way? It's a cult.
No, let me circle back to the question that I asked you earlier of you being religion agnostic. Because in the past, Sadhguru, there have been instances where, we were sitting and one of my producers said that you must ask him on why he called an LSE student Taliban.
What is that?
An LSE student Taliban.
Oh, it's come this far.
I'm giving you
handled
questions.
this.
Or the fact that why did Sadhguru find the need to make that video during CAA, in support of CAA, which had, divided the country in some sort of an ideological fashion. He should have stayed away from it. It wasn't his domain.
See, which one do you want first?
Whichever one you want.
LSE first.
Okay.
See, I go to LSE as a part of Youth and Truth program. In this, two girls, two boys, is it? Yeah, two boys. One of them a Pakistani boy. Now he's become the crypto minister. Okay? And we sat down there and discussed what shall we talk about. That time we were joking and
I
talking.
must say, because, and I want to say it on record, because you said, ask me anything, there's no wrong question.
No problem. It's fine with me. So we are talking privately and joking about it. They know me, they've been following me, all of them, and we are joking and talking about something. And this guy says, he's saying some quote from Pakistan. He says, when you're in the grave, you will not know this, you will not hear this. Hey, this guy is a Talibani, huh? What is he talking?
You said it in jest.
Yes.
Okay.
And there, one of his friends recording secretly, which we did not know. It's a private conversation. These guys are standing far away and recording it, which I did not know.
No, that's terrible.
Even if I knew, I would have still said it because it was just said in jest and it was all fine. Then the conversation happened on stage. Then we went out into the park and played frisbee game and all Sadhguru and hugging me and everything. And then this group of Pakistani guys just take it up and do this.
No, I'm glad you're saying it for what it is.
And the LSE, whatever, the dean or somebody called me and said, you can't do this. I said, ma'am, this is what happened. What is this? No, you must apologize. I said, see, if it is causing some distress to your institution, I'll apologize. But I want you to understand, anyway, because you're an educational institution, you must know little more. That is, the word Talibani means an ardent student. So in your institution, are students ardent or not? You must make up your mind.
Very caustic for this benevolent Sadhguru.
What rubbish are they talking? See, you sit down with somebody in absolute friendship, you say something and that guy is making this stupid quote from Pakistan.
That is bad
That when
form.
you're in the grave, this is what you will hear, this is what… I said, this guy is total Taliban here, what is he talking? And they all laughed. And they record this and just that sentence they put it out. Then I said, okay, and I wrote an apology. I said, if I have caused any distress to anybody, I'm sorry, leave it there. But they wouldn't leave it. They ran the campaign anyway, those boys.
After some time, Sadhguru, stuff like this takes a life of its own. So it's very important for people who believe in you, who look up to you,
See,
I'm glad you did. You said it for what it is.
No, I've said this many times because this is exactly what happened. And then I'm in a cricket match in Dubai, many years later, maybe about 4 or 5 years later. This guy comes to me sheepishly like this and, I'm sorry, Sadhguru. I said, you must be ashamed, man. What kind of a man are you? You sat with me as a friend and we spoke and whatever. And what did you do? No, it's not me, my friends. So you should have said it's not so.
Yeah, he should have. He should have owned up
No,
to it.
now he is a cryptocurrency minister of that country dealing with the family.
Do you want to speak of CAA,
Oh,
of
CA.
making that video? Do you regret it though? May I ask you that?
No, not at all.
You don't?
Not for a moment. Because a question was asked. This is a regular darshan in the ashram. In the evenings, when I'm there, I meet people, all the people who are there. Because about 7,000 residents are there, because for them it's rare to see me, I'm not all the time there, I'm always traveling. So I sit down in the darshan, people can ask any kind of question. As I say, no restriction about questions, people will ask all kinds of things. So they ask about this. I say, see, this whole CIA is because there are theocratic nations around us. And there, by law, there is prejudice. In our country, socially there are many prejudices, but by law there is no prejudice. By law, you and me, no matter who the hell we are, we are same. But I may hold something against you, you may hold something against me, and we may do rubbish to each other. That's an unfortunate social reality which nobody can change overnight. It's a continuous striving. Even in the so-called most advanced countries, there is a serious levels of prejudice in various aspects of society. Unfortunately, it's in our country also, wish it was not there, but it's there. So now, in a theocratic country, by law, when somebody is discriminated, if they want to come, you facilitate. How? Instead of 12 years, they have to wait for 7 years. I think it's not compassion, it's conjuice. Compassion should be if somebody is persecuted for who they are, not for what they did. You did something wrong, a nation punishes you, that's a different matter. We punish you for who you are. Those people want to come back, you give them an opportunity. I said, this 7 years is stupid. Why are you keeping a 7-year stipulation? Because people who came during partition, many of them still in, the same refugee camp kind of existence. Slowly, second, third generation have come out, that whole generation lived in refugee camp. We did not rehabilitate them, we did not fix it, because for what they went through, the horrors that they went through, and they left all their life there and came back, we did not take care of them well. Now, after so many years, if they're still being persecuted, why do you need 7 years? Please bring them back if they want to come back. They want to live there, that's their choice. Now the argument was at that time in the country, but this was not, because the word Hindu is a very… it's like a 4-letter word, you can't say that. So they said all religions, except whatever that nation's theocracy is, if they are persecuted, they must be allowed. And that too after 7 years of waiting. In 7 years, a man's life can be destroyed. After leaving your property, everything that you have there, and you come here and you keep him limbo for 7 years, it can be destroyed. I said, what is this 7 years nonsense? You must give them immediately, make them Indian if they are coming here because they are being persecuted for who they are, not for what they did. Now the argument was, why can't the Muslims also come? Then the whole country will come. Because your country is doing little economically better, then the whole 2 countries will come. That's what is happening in the eastern border right now. In the western border, if everybody's come, you have to give them citizenship, is it? If you did not have population, if you were like Japan or something, I would say yes. But we are not even able to provide for our population, still 300 million people are barely eating properly.
No.
So I said, what is the problem with this?
That's a strong argument. The government did use it at that point of time, which, many questioned you on.
See, the government using it is their choice.
It's their prerogative,
Because
I
it's,
agree.
it's in the social media. And it was an answer to a question that somebody asked. They used it and newspapers printed it on the front page. Well, I was unnecessarily in focus, but I have no regret because I said what I believed.
It's a strong argument. You make a strong argument. Sadhguru, because of… No,
It's
that
not
was…
a strong argument, it's a fact.
There'll be, see, I'm going to sit right in the center of this debate.
No. See, if it's 2 opinions, you can sit in the center. Right now, this was the law. That was a fact.
Right.
The fact is, there are theocratic nations where you're being persecuted for who you are.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I do. I agree with that there are theocratic nations where you're being persecuted for who you are and what religion you keep. I agree with that. But what also, I'll ask you a larger question.
And Christians, Jains, Sikhs, for everybody it was open, not just for Hindus.
No, I agree. But the counter argument was Muslims, but you made your point on that.
But then then why don't you just wipe out the border and make it a part of our nation?
No,
That would be
that's
great.
what I'm saying.
No, if that is the option, I am welcome for that. Wipe out the border, annul the partition, make it into one nation, let's handle our problems whichever way it is.
No, I'll ask a larger question, Sadhguru, because which only not just you who are charged, there are other spiritual leaders who are also charged. Traditionally, one would suggest that the state and the church is just a euphemism here, should be kept separate. And what has happened, and it's not, and I must stress, it's not something that has happened just in the last 10 to 12 years. It's something that has happened through the course of time where India's history is concerned. That the line between the church and the center has blurred. And you yourself…
I'm glad you're saying it's church.
No, I'm just, it's the traditional, it's said.
No,
it's traditionally,
no.
it's a saying
See,
that the state and the church
yes,
should be kept
see,
apart,
that-
which is,
let's-
and religious, spiritual
Can I give
institutions.
a context to that question?
Right.
See, when you say church, you're talking about a specific number of beliefs. A specific God that I must believe in.
No, I'm not, I don't mean that. I mean, when I say state
No, in
and
the
church…
West, when
there's a
they
West.
say that, church is a defined entity.
I agree with you.
Here, what you are referring to as Sanatan is a cultural aspect, there is no defined entity.
But the spiritual… Okay, I'm talking about spiritual gurus, let me say that. And the government of the day. Usually, one would hope that there are very defined boundaries, which we don't see anymore. And I'll give you examples. Where, Sadhguru, you are concerned, you've just come off a meeting with the Home Minister, where you met the Home Minister, not just, but you met the Home Minister on how spirituality needs to be furthered and, in the interest of that, you had a meeting there. We've seen you very vocally sometimes take the side of the government.
Really?
That might be a belief system.
That's a belief.
No, not my belief. That is, that is what… There is criticism
No, there
there.
are some people who…
No, I don't believe this.
No, not you. I'm just saying, those people, see, they're not criticizing me, they're just abusing me. Not just me, my mother, my wife, my daughter, they're all being abused. This is not criticism. See, if you say something, I say, see, Preeti, what you're saying, this is not right, I don't agree with this because this is this…
So you must say if you don't agree with it.
That's
you
what I'm
disagree
saying.
with it.
If I
Right.
say that, that's called criticism. I just abuse you. What is criticism in that? You're just stupid. You don't know what to say, you just abuse people. I only have received abuse, I've never received criticism. Tell me what's the criticism?
No, the criticism is, Sadhguru, that you are, I know you don't like being, confined to a particular word, but you're viewed as a spiritual leader in this country who comes with you might say you're a failure, but you're not, who comes with very, very strong
See,
following.
if you don't meet your goals, you're a failure, isn't it?
Sadhguru, I'm looking at you from the lens of, an outsider. And I see you as a super success. And why I see you as a super success is, if it is the realms of spirituality, and I'm putting a meter gauge to it, is the kind of respect that you command with a certain set, the reverence that you have it's unparalleled. Very
But
few
you told
have
me
it.
your colleagues are saying that they're unfollowing me.
No, but then there are some. So this is a question that comes from that. This is I'm not saying my colleagues. There are one or two people
No, I
who have
know.
their questions, who said that, we used to…
I can joke with you, right?
No, I agree,
Hello.
but we must say it because these are the times of social media. So, no, what I'm saying is, so there is a sense with a few that, and you're not the only one. There have been, it's been said…
am I under government patronage?
Are you under government patronage? Yes. And do you also, respond in equal fervor? Some say that maybe because it's a symbiotic relationship. Not just you. I'm talking about Baba Ramdev in his own thing. I'm talking about Sri Ravi Shankar. I'm talking about…
I don't wish to comment about anybody else, but about myself I
Right.
can say. I have no any kind of relationship with any government, state government or central governments, other than as a citizen what everybody else has. I have the same things. Nobody has given me any special privileges. I pay my taxes, I follow all the damn rules, though I don't like the speed limits on the road.
So who likes them?
So I follow all the rules and do everything. Who's given me any privilege? Have they given me 1 inch of land? No.
Have they given you environmental clearances for…
I'll come to this.
Right.
Have they given me 1 inch of land? Have they given me 1 rupee, anything, subsidy? No. Everything we have done by ourselves. Have they given you environmental clearance? Why the hell they don't give me environmental clearance? What's their business if I'm going by the law? If I'm not following the law and if they give me clearance, then you can ask me. Well, when we have got things cleared in the Supreme Court, I must be going by the law, isn't it? I will tell you about these environmental clearances. The activists, the community that you may be connected to…
No, I'm not connected
No.
to… See, now you're
No,
attaching motive.
I said maybe. I'm saying there is a certain ecosystem in Delhi that reflects in the rest of the world. These people have been saying, I've occupied thousands of acres of forest, okay? This accusation has been on for 25 years.
That is true, yes.
Any number of times I have said, please, if you have a doubt, come and see. No, they won't come, they'll see. So surveys were done. We have done our surveys, we have not taken 1 inch either of forest land or somebody's land or anything. Every piece of land has been bought by us, paying double the price that others pay because the moment we go, people hike the price for us. Now they went on doing this, we had survey, not enough. Then we called for revenue survey, they said nothing. Forest survey we called, they said nothing. In the High Court, the Forest Department went and said there is no encroachment, but that's not enough. Then we called for a digital survey. So proper digital survey done. I shouldn't say this, but I'll say this, what the hell. Then in the digital survey they found forest is occupying 3/4 of an acre of our land, where their main road runs. Today if I want, I can put a fence there and block the road. I can. I'm not doing that because people are using it, I will not do that. But I'm saying I can dig up a trench and say, this is my land. They can do nothing because their digital survey shows their main road is going in our land. And always wherever the forest stones are there, we've always put a few feet inside because we know these things will come. I'm wise enough and smart enough to do that, I'm not that stupid, nor the people around me are stupid like that, to take a few inches of land to make a mess out of it. So everything proves it is not so. Twice in the High Court, the Forest Department gives an affidavit, there is no encroachment. But the social media warriors and certain groups of people continue even today. It's taken thousands of acres of land, thousands of acres of
Propaganda.
just going on. Because if you tell a lie 10 times, at least 2 people will believe it, and they believe it. 10–20% of the people believe all these things. I'll tell you a classic thing. We've got the Adiyogi statue.
It's beautiful.
This is in honor of the first yogi. This is a movement from religion to responsibility. Because religion means responsibility is up there. This is our problem. Responsibility has to be here. For every step that I take, every breath that I take, the responsibility needs to be here. This is the movement I'm running, religion to responsibility. I may frame it in so many different ways. So Adiyogi is set up as an inspiration for people to take charge of their life. You're unwell, you need to do something about this. You're troubled in your head or in your body, you need to do something about this. Your life is not working, you need to do something about this. Without fixing this, there is no solution for your life. In is the only way out. This is the fundamental line for us. In is the only way out for you, no matter what is your problem, okay?
Sadhguru, you talk about life, you also…
Let me finish this.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't…
So this Adiyogi statue is built. We have taken permission for a monument and we built the monument. It's on our private land. They say, this was all forest. So I take videos and post it and show, adjacent lands are all coconut gardens, where 40–50-year-old trees are standing there, all right? So in the middle of that, there can't be a forest. This is plain agricultural land that we bought. So then they become quiet, because here there are trees, 40-year-old trees are standing right next to Adiyogi, it can't be forest, coconut trees. Then you know what? Then somebody files a petition to the local district, in Tamil Nadu, unfortunately, they're still called collectors. This is an old appellation from the British times, where all they did was collect taxes. They didn't do any administration,
The Macaulay hangover.
whatever you want to call it. So, they file something with him and he comes along with his officials for inspection. The accusation is that we've built a factory shed. I'm also surprised, where is the goddamn factory shed? But they come in for inspection. I'm not there, so our people are there. And then the collector comes and looks around and said, ask that officer, where is the factory shed? He points at the Adiyogi statue and he says, this is a factory shed. He said, what? This is a factory shed? It's a statue. It's a monument. He says, no, inside there are metal members, outside there is a sheet metal, so for me it's a factory shed. Tell me, where does this come from? Every day, do you understand? In this 35 years of running Isha Yoga Center, there is not one day where there is no one minor crisis going on. This is how difficult it is to run a goddamn institution in this country. On top of that, people are saying this is this, that. See, in Tennessee, we've not even done, 5% of what we have done here in terms of work. For this, the governor invites us and says, because of you, the economy is improving in that place and we want to put you on the tourism list. What can we do for you? They're willing to invest $500,000 advertising our center. Government of Tennessee, hardcore Christian country, all right, that Tennessee area. They're willing to do that. Here in our country, and I'm telling you, central government, I may be seen with the Prime Minister and Home Minister and somebody, nobody has given me 1 inch of land. Nobody has given me 1 rupee, nor have I ever asked. If I go there to meet any leader, I go there if I have something to contribute for the state or for the country. I have never gone to any politician to ask for one damn thing, not even a permission. Do you understand?
No, fair point.
It's not a fair point, it's a fact.
No, I agree with you.
You can ask any of them. This is why they respect me, because never I've gone there talking about my problems or my issues, or asking for any kind of compensation or any kind of concession on anything. This is the reason why there is such respect with everybody. If I went there asking for this and that, other things would happen,
No, Sadhguru, it's your fact that you're a Padma Vibhushan, it is your contribution to society that you've been given that title.
No, yes, but I'm saying the criticism you said, unfortunately, I would welcome criticism, but nobody is able to criticize anything. They're only abusing. When abuse is legal, then that society is difficult,
No, fair.
I'm saying there must be a law, there's a perjury law in the country. If somebody willfully lies about something, you know what, when I said, you should see the kind of stories that are being written about me, I am a human trafficking person, like not even my daughter, wife, mother spared, do you understand? All these things printed in the magazines, they call themselves journalists. They write filthy things, all right, unbelievable things, I can't even mention it to you.
Sadhguru, there's a huge dichotomy to your persona. You're someone who's deeply spiritual, if enlightening as well. I remember, now I've spent time with you. There's a lot that I'm going to take back. But you're also someone who's known for the taste of finer things in life. You ride finer things in life. You ride expensive motorcycles.
Motorcycle is a rough thing, huh?
You also ride very expensive cars.
No.
No?
That is just in your magazine they printed like that. In your channel's magazine, they just printed, I drive Lamborghini, Ferrari, this, that.
Exactly.
No.
None of that.
The only car I have is a 1974 Toyota Land Cruiser, which is a classic Land Cruiser, which I'm still driving around. Okay, that's the only car I own.
But a very, very, very
Now,
big politician told me you don't need to own a
No, I will tell
expensive
you.
car to
I'll tell
enjoy an
you. Why
expensive
this
car.
is because I was at the Singapore F1 and there they asked me to drive on the track. I drove there. Then the Ferrari paddock which was there, they said, Sadhguru, you must come and drive in the Ferrari cavalcade in Italy. Then I thought, I've never driven a Ferrari, can I do it? They said, no, the way you're driving, you can do it. So I went there and drove Ferrari. For 5 days, they gave me a factory Ferrari and I drove for 5 days. I enjoyed it because I'm hitting 330, 340 kilometers per hour, which I loved it.
Fun.
Yes. So 5 days if I drive a factory Ferrari, and now the Italians love me. Yesterday, the Italian deputy prime minister has come, he invited me because he's become a dear friend, because he knows that, I'm actively engaged in so many things. So, these things are… when you're involved in public life, you're going to so many places, people will appreciate certain things and say some
Fair
things. So, people come to pick me up in the airport, they come in whatever car they come, generally they say, Sadhguru, you drive, because they're afraid to drive me. Because they know…
In the Delhi traffic, you're making your way out.
No, here I'm coming in the car sometimes, depends, if I'm dressed like this, I sit in the back seat, otherwise I drive, wherever
Right.
it is. I drive across the world, wherever I go, in any airport in the world, I drive because they are nervous to drive with me, because they know how I drive. I've driven across the world. So they hand over their cars. So it may be anything. Nobody comes in a Ferrari to pick me up, even if they have, they won't come because I won't sit in such a car. Not because of anything, because I don't like to sit down almost on the street
Yeah.
level, okay?
So, okay, so I'm glad that you're saying it because there is this perception outside, which
So, one car 1974,
is the one that you have.
yes, I have that. That's a crime. At
Sat-
this age, I must tell you this, at a young age I rode a 250cc, single cylinder, two-stroke engine across the country. At that time, our dream was always, maybe one day we'll get to ride something little more powerful, because that was the only damn thing, that was the fastest thing on the road at that time. Road King, SD Road King was the fastest thing.
What's the motorcycle you're riding nowadays?
Now I'm from London to South India, I rode a BMW 1600. Generally, I'm riding a Ducati Rally. Well, they're fantastic motorcycles. And at the age of 65, I got a good motorcycle. And that they're cribbing, he's riding a luxury motorcycle.
No, I don't understand that.
The idiot who says that doesn't know motorcycle is never a luxury. If you don't know how to handle it, your back will break.
No, but even if it is a luxury, what's wrong with that?
No, I'm saying motorcycle is not a luxury.
No, someone who rides, I know. Sadhguru, we've gone on for 2 hours. I wish we had more time. I'm just going to come down to 2 or 3 questions in the end. I want to ask you, Sadhguru, do you have any…
Nothing spiritual has come yet.
You…
You're labeling me as a spiritual guru, you've not asked me one spiritual question.
Let me ask you one. Do you have any regrets if you look back in life? Are there any regrets, or things have gone down and you have zero regrets?
I don't spend my life in those things, unnecessary emotions and thoughts. I think and emote in a way that's useful to me and everybody around me. I don't waste my time on such things.
No, you don't look back at all in life. You've had one of, I think, the most fascinating lives for an individual to lead.
Well, it's not that I don't remember, I remember every bit of it. I have a memory with… my memory is like this, that I don't think in words, I only think in pictures and videos. Everything is like a recorded video in my mind. So I have vivid pictures of everything. But what's there to regret or feel excited about something that's gone by? You may cherish some things, you may cherish some moments, tender moments and beautiful moments, which I feel I'm full of that. I make sure, right now, I was talking to a journalist in the United States. Like this, a woman, someone like you. And she asked, Sadhguru, who is the most important person in your life? I said, yourself. She said, she got flustered. I said, hey, don't go like that. When I'm with you, you are the most important person for me. I am not looking at you and thinking, oh, that important person is there. I'm not that kind. When I'm here, when I'm doing this is the thing for me. This may be the last thing I do in my life, but that's how I do it, as if this is the last thing. I hope you see that.
No, I
No
do.
holds barred. I'm absolute.
No, no holds barred, and you've given us so much time. When you look back, and you said you don't look back, but if you had to give one piece of advice to a 25-year-old, or I would say 24-year-old, because 25 was your moment of epiphany, to yourself, to a young self, what would you say? Anything? Or
25-year-old me,
yeah,
what's the advice? Don't take any advice from anybody.
which you didn't.
I didn't.
Which you didn't. So what that's worked out quite well. Let me ask you another question. Sadhguru, if you had to send out a dinner invitation, and if you had to invite three people from across genres, it's your lived reality in how you've perceived times. Who would those three be? And it could be, cross time, everything. I just want to know who, like somebody like you, who would you want on your dinner table at night?
Ronaldinho.
Uh-huh. And
Maybe,
can be somebody who's long gone and dead.
maybe Michael Schumacher.
He's in a coma, yeah. And,
If he sits up at dinner, I would like to see him.
right.
Long gone.
Anyone, it's your call.
Maybe I would like to meet Rajaraja Cholan.
No, it's an interesting guest list. I'm trying to think, okay, with Michael Schumacher and the first one, there's a connect, but, it'll make for interesting conversation. But Sadhguru, if you have to give one piece of advice and, or just through your lived experiences to those who are young in India today, because we're living in a very polarized time, and you see that in terms of the abuse that you get for yourself as well. What would that be? How do you guide,
It's
the
only for
young
the young
through this?
people?
Yes.
Are you young?
I don't think I'm young. I'm fairly
So
middle-aged.
the advice is not for you.
I'll take it. But
This is a… See, I never thought I'll send my daughter to school because I never liked to go to school and I didn't want her to go to school. But my travels were such that it was impossible for me to… I thought I'll nurture her myself, let her travel with me and I'll take care, which I did till she was 4.5, but after that, my travels were insane, it would be too much for the child, and above all, she needs company of her own age, otherwise she may become old when she's young, It happens.
I know.
So, I sent her to a school where there's minimum amount of schooling. She was fine, and as a rule, I never treated her as a child. I treated her as just as I would treat myself or any other adult around me. So she got used to that. By the time she was 4, 5 years of age, she knows approximately 500, 600 people who she thinks are all her friends. These are all adults, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds. She calls them by name because she calls me by name even today. And then also, she calls everybody by name and she doesn't think that she's small and they're big or whatever, because that's how it was, the atmosphere. So at the age of 13, when she saw something in the school which disturbed her, she came home and she said, you're teaching everybody so many things, you don't tell me anything. I said, see, I don't teach anybody anything unsolicited. Unless you ask, I won't do it. I've never gone out saying, please listen to me, here I've come a Messiah. I've never done this unless people come. So now that you come, you sit down. I said, this is all. Never look up to anybody. Her eyebrows went up like this, what about you kind of gesture.
Never look up to anybody.
Yeah, never look up to anybody. She did like this, what about you kind of thing. I said, especially me. If you look up to me, you'll miss the whole point of who I am. You must see me for what I am, how I conduct myself, how I live, how I experience my life moment to moment. No matter what is the situation, you must look at me the way I am. Don't look up to me, then you'll hang me on the wall. That's what most people will anyway do. Never look up to anyone, never look down on anyone. That means you will see life just the way it is.
That's very good advice.
If you see life just the way it is, you will navigate your life very effortlessly. If you have prejudice of something is great, something is less, you will hit something which doesn't even exist. In your own mind, you will hit walls which you can never cross in your lifetime because you're looking up to something, looking down on something else. Heaven and hell, God and devil, this and that. Learn to look at everything just the way it is. Then you will know this life in its fullness. Otherwise, you will become one prejudiced nonsense.
Oh, that is superb advice, and I don't think that's really for the young. That's cross.
That's for everyone.
Yeah, that's for everyone.
I believe if you're alive, you're still young.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. That's nice. My final question, Sadhguru, and I know not too many spiritual questions, but that's fine. Sometimes it's nice to get a spiritual leader and not ask him any spiritual questions. But I will ask you one. If you can, one takeaway in terms of, because you speak so much of health, you speak so much of diet, in terms of if you had to impart, I was reading this piece, where you've spoken about ragi and what it can actually do to somebody. Upasna was someone we were speaking to for this very podcast,
Okay.
and she was talking to us about how she's feeding ragi to her daughter. So I want to ask you, Sadhguru, what's that one piece of physical advice? It could be a yogic posture, it could be something that people eat, but that just keeps them well nourished.
Only one.
As many as you'd want, sir. As many as you want. And we'll end with that.
See, when it comes to food, there are… say, after all, what your body is just a piece of the planet that you walk upon. If you are born in this land, I know this is a difficult thing to say today because people travel everywhere, but if you're born in this land and you have the fortune of continuing to live in this land, as far as possible, not completely possible, as far as possible, make sure at least 50% of what you eat comes from land around you, because your body is communicating with the soil all the time.
So the fads of avocado, blueberries.
I can't
Do
stand
you eat avocado?
I can't stand avocado, it's too gooey for me.
Blueberries? Because they're not coming from our land.
Blueberries, that's why I said 50%, no?
Ah,
Are you on avocado diet?
no, I love avocado, but I don't know.
In my house, there are hundreds of fruits which we call as butterfruit, which is very much like avocado. Never once I have touched it. Goes to either the kitchen, the ashram kitchen, or to the cows. But I will never touch it because it's too gooey for me. I like things crunchy in my mouth.
Sorry,
Anyway,
continue.
50% at least, if it comes from the land around you. Usually in the yogic culture, the thing is, how much distance you can walk in a day, the radius of that, you must eat within that because the body is communicating with the earth. See, when the COVID-19 happened, everybody was falling sick right, left and center, and so many people lost their lives, unfortunately. Those who should have lived little longer. Everybody dies, but you die see, in India, there is no bad death and good death. In Indian languages, there's only two. Sakala mrityu, akala mrityu. That means timely death, untimely death. Untimely is not just in terms of the length of your life, but for various reasons, something unfulfilled and you died. You must die when you mature and kind of ready to go kind of situation. Need not necessarily be that you live to be 100 or whatever. So, akala mrityu happened to too many people, unfortunately. One wave of things. That is when, for last 8 years before that, this death book was there. They made it 1,000 pages. I said, no, nobody's going to read it. Editing and, editing a book is so difficult, what to cut, what to take. Our teams continuously arguing, debating, 8 years went. The book didn't get published. Then in the month of January, I said, February, it must be published. No, Sadhguru, we need some more time. I said, nothing doing. Whatever it is, just publish. Not more than 250 pages, just do it. So somehow they published. I never read that book because I know there must be loopholes there. Now the next one, which was published in United States, which I worked on it a little more, and there we published it, removing all the Indian context and Indian terminologies. We made a more Western thing, same content but little presented differently. So I made sure it's published in February, And the March, the COVID struck. Because I knew something is coming, I didn't know what was coming. I never imagined virus. But I thought whatever it is, something dark in my mind, I knew something is coming. I said the death book must be published. 1 month before the COVID it was published after 8 years of waiting, and it became a bestseller. And people held it like Bible. When people around them were dying, what is this that we never addressed? The most obvious question in our life we never addressed. So, health means essentially longevity in some way, that we don't die untimely. Why? To eat properly, exercise properly, do something. All this, people may think so many things. Essentially, we are trying to manage the time that we don't die untimely. Because life is a combination of a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. Time is rolling for all of us, same pace. 2 hours for you is 2 hours for me also. But in my experience it may not be so, but in reality it's the same thing. See, you have noticed on a certain day if you're very happy, 24 hours, poof, it'll go like that. Another day you're bothered about something, maybe you're a little low, 24 hours feels like a year. Because time is a relative experience, but in reality it's ruthlessly rolling for all of us at the same pace. So there's no such thing as time management. If you intensify your energies and manage your energies, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. If both of you live for 100 years, in impact it looks like you lived for 1,000 years. That is the only way you can enhance your life. So if this energetic aspect of who you are has to be enhanced, what goes into this? Instead of calling it food, let's call it fuel. This is fuel. What kind of fuel goes into this is important. If you're not a racing person, I know you were riding that thing during the election time.
I'm glad you saw it. No, but I don't race, no.
Yes. So if you go into a racing paddock in the F1, I'm a big F1 buff at one time, now I don't have the time. So, if you go there, you must see these guys religiously filtering already super high-grade 100-octane gas, all right? It's 100-octane gas. Fortunately, somebody is providing me 100-octane in United States. I still ride on 100-octane. So, they're filtering it with filter cloths 3 times over, nothing in it. But they want to catch the tiny speck that may be somewhere, because that one speck will make the car little. That's the end of him. If a split second goes for him, he's gone. So they're filtering it like they're… like how
Life
they're doing it,
depends
like
on
it's a
it.
medical thing, something like that they're doing. Because you want that level of performance. So you may not be a racing machine, but still you would like to move at a certain pace. If you want to move at a certain pace, what goes into this is very important. Fuel. What kind of fuel for optimal performance? So we can elaborately look at the science of it. Medical sciences are looking only in terms of vitamin, protein, this, that. We don't look at it like that. We look at it in terms of how much life energy is there in a specific thing. So, how much life energy is there? They kept flowers for you, not for me. Okay, maybe this is for me. How much life energy is there in one flower and how much in the other type of flower is different if you're sensitive to it. So, food is like this. So, we always feel the food and see how much life energy is there. Traditionally, it's all categorized. This has this kind of thing. But today we are ignoring all that and thinking everything is protein, vitamin, whatever thing. No, it's not like that. If your life energies are well stimulated, whatever little goes into it, it's fully made use of. I've been on 2 meals for a long time, but in the last maybe 8 years or so, I'm generally only on 1 meal. Unless I'm physically very… Today I've golfed, maybe I'll eat in the morning and again later. But otherwise, if I don't have that kind of physical activity, just 1 meal a day, it's more than enough. Because it's the way you integrate the food, it's not about how much you eat and what you eat. A simple diet will take care of it. So, this aspect of what… I don't want to go into it because it's an elaborate subject, The simple thing is at least 50% of what you eat,
Should
let
come
it
around
come
you.
from the land around you as much as possible. This will help. And as much as possible, a certain amount of live food, that is, in India we have this problem of overcooking everything and then eating. A little bit less would help a lot. Well, millets were everywhere in the last so-called our green revolution. We wiped out all the millets
That's true,
and
for
put
rice and wheat.
only rice and wheat. This is simply because of the support price anomaly. Fortunately, now after so many years, after 60 years, now this government has corrected this after any number of letters and advices and scientific data being sent to them. Now they've changed it. You can get support price for millet, for ragi, which is better than rice. Ragi gets better support price than rice today, which is a fantastic thing, because in the PDF it needs to go in the… what do you call that? The public distribution, whatever.
System, PDS, yeah.
PDS, right?
Public distribution
Yeah.
system, yeah.
In the PDS, millets have to go. But now what has happened is, at one time, the elites were eating only rice and wheat, other poorer people were eating this millets.
Millets.
Now the elite have started eating millets, poor people don't want to eat because that's considered low. The whole narrative,
True,
how
it's changed, you're
it's turned
right.
against us. The best thing about the millet is it's a slow release cereal. If you eat that much, whatever the quantity you eat, it'll slowly release, you won't get hungry. If you have to get the same… suppose you want to get hungry after 5 hours, you eat that much of millet. If you want to do the same thing with rice, you will have to eat almost double. Otherwise, you'll be hungry in 2 hours' time, because it just releases its glucose quickly. So this slow release, as per your activity, it goes slowly, which is the best way to eat, that what you eat must be happening like that.
Sadhguru, I wish we had more time, but we don't, because we've already gone on for 2 hours. And thank you for taking the time out. And I hope
Thank
to
you very
come
much.
back to you where we can actually then sit down and
Ask some spiritual questions.
yes, have some spiritual conversation with a spiritual guru who you think is boxing you into a particular title. But then I really
I hope
thank
I'm
you.
not too abrasive for you.
Not at all. I like abrasive. It's always nice to have somebody who's taken all questions and who is abrasive. There's absolutely… you were not, but even if you were, it would have been perfectly fine. But thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you, Sadhguru, for joining us.